Sorry. Oh, hi.
Hi!
Because we're always talking when I press play.
You know, we're just going to be goofy, and that's just the way it's going to be. Mm-hmm. It's just goofy.
Yep, we're goofy. So, welcome to Two Tangled Skeins.
Hello.
There's just 2 Tangled Skeins today. There's not 3.
No. Where did we put her?
I don't know. Maybe she's under the couch.
Ooh.
I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7, and I would like to welcome back those who've been here before, and if you're new, we're glad you joined the party, the craziness, the foolishness, the goofiness.
Definitely goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Selma 123, and we also have a whole bunch of social media that we're on. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, on YouTube is where you can also see this podcast. We've got a blog, we're on Facebook, and we've got a Ravelry group.
We're everywhere, people.
Yeah.
I think the only place we're not is Snapchat, and that's for kids.
Periscope.
I'm not interested in Periscope.
No.
I don't even watch it.
I haven't gotten
I watched a couple live of, I think it was Juliana's, and I find it too distracting because they're talking to the people asking questions.
Uh-huh.
And it's not like, because they're constantly like cutting from what they're saying to talk to say hello. And it's not for me.
Yeah. I think I can only handle one new social media a year. Instagram. This was my Instagram year, so that's it for now, which I love.
Now, because she didn't listen to me. I don't need Instagram.
But Pinterest, for example, never gotten into Pinterest.
I was into Pinterest for a while, but it no. And when I go, speaking of Pinterest, when I'm looking for stuff on Google, it brings up Pinterest links all over the place. It's like, I want a website. I don't want to have to log into Pinterest and then go to that picture and then click on a website.
Right.
Anyways, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Hello. And by the way, in our Ravelry group, there's a lot going on. We've got knit-alongs going there and prizes are there. So if you're not part of the group, get over to Ravelry, which direction that might be, and
there.
Join.
So today's a special day.
Thanksgiving?
Today's a special day. Because the special someone that's missing, it's her birthday.
She's not under the sofa. She's out eating cake.
Well, she will be. She's going to a wedding today.
Mm-hmm.
Happens at a family wedding on her birthday. But like she said, she gets cake on her birthday for once, because normally it's pumpkin pie.
That's true.
Yeah. And I can't wait to find out the reaction that Rob has to the dress. She tried on a bunch of dresses, and a lot of them looked like stunning. And this one she was looking at, and she was like, "Oh, well, it's too long. I'm too short. It's this, it's that." The lady was like, "You need to try this on." She walked out of the change room, and my mouth dropped.
Excellent.
Like, gorgeous. So,
what color is it?
Black and white.
Okay.
But not mix of black and white. There's a black part and a white part.
Okay.
And it was just stunning. And then she kept trying on dresses, and we're like, nope.
Even the store person thought so too?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Dress shopping can be a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially when it's under pressure.
Well, and I think she tried on 10.
Well, that's not 10. Too bad. All in one store?
Yeah.
Okay. She got there.
Yeah. So that was done, and so we wish you happy birthday, Lynn, and we hope you're having a great day.
Yeah.
And I really hope the blanket got done last night. Because she was on row 13, and she only had 10 hexagons to do last night.
Okay.
So she had 10 to add to row 13, and then she just had to add it to the blanket.
And then that's it. That blanket.
Yeah.
You know what, Lynn? I mean, I think it's amazing. That's a big blanket to make in
a
fairly short period of time.
That's 2 she's done now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe I should get remarried. Do I get a blanket if I get remarried?
Renew your vows. Get
Exactly.
a blanket. So, yeah, that's an awesome gift, and, you know, she's so giving in that way, and
totally.
Even though at the end she wanted to stab herself with a crochet hook, which would have been interesting.
Still did it, though.
She still did it.
Yeah.
And, man, does she have plans to cast on all the things.
I bet you next time Lynn's on, there's going to be a lot of whips.
Yeah.
And maybe an FO if she speeds through something.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right.
And it's also Thanksgiving weekend.
It is.
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that are celebrating.
And it's also on holidays. Come on. What's more important than Thanksgiving?
She's going to Texas.
Yeah, we're leaving on Wednesday, and I figured Tuesday's a work day, Thanksgiving is Monday. I'm not going into work for one day.
Absolutely. You got to pack.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
You got to pack. You got to get yourself into the vacation mode.
Oh, I'm there. I was there when I left the office.
Excellent.
Because Sue was like, oh, I want to ask Robert if we can leave early. I'm like, I'm leaving at 4 because I stayed half an hour late yesterday. See ya. And she was like, I don't ask permission. I just do it.
That's what happened.
It sucked to work late, but it got me advanced in what I needed to do yesterday to be done.
Excellent.
So it was great.
So you're off to Texas?
Yes.
How long are you gone for?
We leave Wednesday at 4 and we're back on Sunday night. And I took Monday off.
So, and Lynn and I are going to be at Rhinebeck with a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah. So watch the Instagram feeds because she might bring this off. Like she has her laptop.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to record.
Yeah.
There's going to be
4
or 5 of us in the cabin, and I figure let's just, have fun. I think somebody's bringing Cards Against Humanity.
And there's a knitting component now. You can add on.
What do you mean?
There's like a knitted card, a set
oh,
of
yes!
cards.
Kristen of Yarngasm was talking about that. I've never played Cards Against Humanity.
I've watched people play and it doesn't interest me because
really?
It's more fun when you're drunk, apparently. The last time it was brought out at a party, they tried to convince me and they were all inebriated, beyond inebriated, my husband included. And it was funny to watch them. But I have no interest in playing the game because...
Well, I'll find out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll see.
There will be booze.
Most likely we won't be recording next weekend.
So watch Instagram because I'll be posting a lot on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm
meeting Jeanette of Bookish Stitcher Podcast next Thursday and we're going on a yarn crawl.
That is great. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yep. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Foes.
Do you want to start?
I do. Even though Lynn says it's not a foe.
It's a foe.
It's a foe.
The ends are sewn in.
Everything is sewn in.
That's better than my foe.
So there's just no buttons and I need to go choose buttons. So this is the Playdate cardigan.
Isn't that adorable?
Isn't that the cutest? And you saw the baby it's going on.
Oh my gosh.
This is for Zane, who
He's
is my...
so adorable.
My nephew's son, who's my grandnephew, I think we figured out, or great-nephew. I'm not sure how you would say that.
Wait, who's
son is he? My nephew's son. I heard great-nephew, because I'm a great-aunt.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
yeah.
don't know.
So that's the Playdate in its glory. I want to knit baby sweaters for the rest of my life.
It's very satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah. And this was knit out of Knit Picks. Excuse me. Comfy fingering in the Peapod colorway using 3.5 millimeters, which is a US 4, 3.75 millimeters, which is a US 5. And I asked the mama what kind of buttons she wanted, and she said something brown. So if I can find little brown bears.
It's very cute. What was the pattern again?
Playdate. By Tin Can Knits.
So cute.
Yeah.
And you did the sleeves, I guess, by picking up?
Yep.
So there you go. Just picked up edge and then nice and easy. Don't have to sew anything.
No.
So adorable.
Next time, though, I think I'll do the both sleeves at the same time.
Super soft and squishy.
It's soft and squishy and completely washable. Because, you know, and I already have the next sweater planned for him.
He's really adorable. You're like, oh, that is a boy, and he's a handsome boy, and I just want to squeeze his cheeks.
Yep. He's the cutest thing ever. That's my faux.
All right.
Faux people.
I've got 3 bows. What do you think of that? Is that bright?
People will see you coming down the street.
Oh boy. I don't think this is for me. I have to figure out who to give it to. But this is the Lightning Strike hat by Mina Phillip. I'll just let you look at it like that.
It's gorgeous.
It's really great. It's a super bulky. I test knit for her, but the pattern's out already if you're interested.
Okay, I didn't know.
It is out, and we're also going to be having a giveaway for this pattern. It's a super bulky yarn. I knit it with Malabrigo Rasta, which I got at the Malabrigo factory when I was there the last time. And I think it's called the Glazed Carrot colorway. I think that's what it is. Anyway, it's a very bright orange.
It's going to be so
it's
warm.
Knit on 9mm needles. So
US 13.
It's ginormous needles, which, by the way, I have to remember to bring them back.
I said the plastic ones, you can keep them. I have 2.
So the metal ones I have to get back to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, just a really, really big, squishy, I feel contained. Is great. Like, this is going to be awesome for cold weather.
It looks like the kind of hat that if you have curly hair and it's wet and you put that on, you're going to get hat head. Because it's just like...
Yeah. But it's great. Really warm.
Yeah.
Really warm, and I was glad to use this up. Because I'd gotten this...
Did you use it all?
It was a 90-yard skein. And she had said it calls for 100 yards. And so I was a little nervous that I was going to be playing chicken and having to, flub the top. And when you've got a super bulky, like the skein is gigantic, right? And it goes down really fast. And so I was getting quite nervous. But in the end, I have enough to possibly make a little pom-pom. I'm kind of considering making a pom-pom for it, but
you could do a 2-color pom-pom if you
I
have
actually
enough.
thought maybe I'll make a 2-color pom-pom. That's exactly
that
what I
would
was thinking.
complete that hat.
It would look awesome.
It would.
So this will be a gift for somebody, but I haven't quite figured out who, because it's a great color, not quite my color. So, but it was a really fun knit, super well written as usual. Mina's patterns are always like straightforward and easy to follow.
How was the decreasing?
Decreasing was great.
Okay.
I have to admit, knitting with 9mm needles and big gigantic yarn, it's a little hard. So I certainly wouldn't make a gigantic project, but hey, it's a hat.
Yeah, because when you're going to the large extreme and the small extreme, it's very hard on your hands.
Yeah, very different experience, but great. And this is a single ply yarn, so it's good, I think, for a hat too, because it will have less friction and it won't peel as much.
Do you see that pattern in a cowl?
Absolutely.
It would be gorgeous.
Yeah. So that's one faux. The next faux, Lynn, I think, would not approve of because I have not sewn in the ends.
It's off the needles. Oh, those are pretty.
Just putting them on down here. Back in a moment. Oh, we've frozen.
The screen freezes every once in a while. There's a dirt face if I've ever seen
Jeez,
one.
we look terrible.
Come on, unfreeze. Oh, hi.
Phew. Didn't want to look like that the rest of my life. It's making me wonder how I should position myself. Anyway, here is my second FO, which is Adrift by Plucky Knitter. Fingerless mitts or gloves. I'm not quite sure. I think they're fingerless mitts, right? Because otherwise they'd have little fingerlets there. Yeah. Knit in Dale Garn Eco Baby Wool that we were gifted by Stephanie, is her name? No, who gifted it to us?
Stephanie from Stitchcraft Marketing got in contact with Mango Moon.
Okay. So thank you very much for letting us work with this yarn. Great yarn.
I'll be casting on mine.
Very nice pattern. I'm going to be wearing these possibly at Rhinebeck, depending on what the weather's like.
And I think all three of us will have cast on and possibly finished with that yarn because Lynn's making a baby sweater.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
really
am I.
looking forward to seeing how it wears. It's, although, and I said this last time I was on, Eco Baby, it makes you think it's really soft. I wouldn't call this super soft.
But it's, I think that might help it wear better.
But I think it's going to wear beautifully. And it's a lovely pattern.
Gray.
Just a very simple pattern.
You need a matching hat.
Oh dear. Maybe I do. I've got gray hats if I've got gray things, but I've still got all the ends to do.
See, me, it's off the needles. It's finished.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, and I'll be sewing in the ends, before I wear these. And because I certainly won't wear them with the ends floating around like that.
Oh, come on.
And then, the last FO.
Pièce de résistance.
I require assistance.
Yes, very much. Is this the right side or the wrong side?
And this is the right side. This is the wrong side that we're looking.
So
this,
we're thinking,
hello.
Pull it on your side, like over this way. Okay, so you can see, like you can't, there. Now we keep going and going and going. It's huge!
It's huge! This is my exploration station.
It's gorgeous.
I'm quite taken with it. And I am definitely considering, especially since seeing Kristen of Yarngasms, because remember I said I'd like to make one with sort of more subtle colors.
She nailed subtle.
And at least in that picture, it didn't look so subtle in her other pictures, but I just thought, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, something subtle. I'll show you one of my whips. I'm actually thinking the color in the socks that I'm making, the colors in the socks that I'm making are going to be my next exploration station. Anyway, This was a fun knit. I have to say, it must have been a fun mystery cowl.
So there's only one brioche section.
There's only one brioche section, which is this section right here. Whoopsies, I'm all over the place here. I'm having a hard time. This sort of stripy section here. And Stephen West's video, which is about 12 minutes long, where he describes brioche, is very good. I wouldn't bother watching any other ones. He tells you what he wants you to do, and that's all you need.
Apparently, if you watch him, you just keep watching him.
The only section that's what happened to me. I just started watching all his videos because he's hilarious. The only section I actually didn't enjoy that much, or I enjoyed the least, is this green-gray section right here. This is a slip stitch section. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting my angles right. I actually got confused in that section somehow, and I've heard other people say the same thing. But hey, it got done, and then the last section is really a bunch of garter ridges, and then there's a chevron lacy section. So I'll tell you a little bit about the yarns. The gray at the bottom and the purple are both Julie Asselin in her Fino, which is a silk, wool silk blend. The gray one is called Shining Armor, and it's really a beautiful mid-gray. And the purple is called Macaron, like the French cookies, which I happen to love. And that's the purple. The other gray, which is here, this one here, is by Riverside Studios, who is a local dyer. Well, I think she lives somewhere in the Gatineau region.
Yep.
And this is her sock base, and it's called, the colorway is Salt and Pepper, and it's a, sort of a light gray and a darker gray speckled. And then the mint green is Tanis Fiber Arts. I think it's the purple label. It's an MCN, and this was gifted to me by a viewer, and this was the beginning of the impetus for the exploration station and finding colors to go with this mint green. And that is the colorway called Julep. So there we go.
Like mint julep.
Yeah, I loved them all. All the yarns were lovely to work with.
All Canadian.
All Canadian. So
did you finish it in time to enter it for the Canada Cow?
I didn't enter any prizes for the Canada Cow.
Projects?
Any projects, sorry, for the Canada Cow. In other groups.
I was a day late.
But I was trying to get it done. But I think I might have finished on October 1st or something like that. I can't remember. But it's ready to wear. So we'll see.
Add it to the pile of shawls at work.
Yeah, and it left me with a couple of questions.
Might as well ask them now.
I was left with half or a third of a skein of each of the colors. Some colors more than others. The two grays I had the least of, and the purple and the green I have the most of, which I don't understand how that happened, but it did. And I'm thinking, what have other people done when you've done a multicolored shawl? What have you done with the leftovers? I'd be very curious to hear, because I'm thinking I've got these 4 balls. What do I do? So if you have any ideas, or if you could share your experience of what you've done, come over to the Ravelry group and just post in the thread for this this YouTube video, or this episode. Help me here. Can I speak? And then my other question was, this has been a shawl knitting year for me. I think I've made 8 shawls, maybe 9.
Yeah, because you haven't made a sweater this year.
Yes, I have.
Oh, did you?
But in the winter and spring, I made On the Grass by Locatelli, and I made that brown dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then after that was the end. I've been on sock and knitting shawls. I've been sock and shawl frenzying all spring and summer, and I couldn't just continue knitting shawls. It's so much fun. But I don't have a place to put all these shawls, and I just wonder, how do people display their shawls or store their shawls?
We can get you some hooks in your office, and you can just have it on the wall.
Yeah, I had the ones that I have at the office. I had folded at one point folded. Right now they're behind my door on a hook, all hanging there. But at home, I have my cubby where, like, each family member has a cubby, and I'm thinking they're not going to fit in there. And
well, if they fit, you won't fit anything else.
Maybe I do need to put some hooks up. Anyway, if you have any ideas or want to share a picture of how you store your shawls in the thread. I'd love to see. It'd be great
Mm-hmm.
to share some ideas around that. But yeah, so there it is. Doesn't go terribly well with this t-shirt.
I just want to write
And
that
as Stephen says, if you want to wear a shawl, just wear it. So I'm just wearing it. There you go. Although it's a little too warm in here to actually wear it, so I'm going to take it off. But there you go. Very happy with it. Blocking it was the best thing to do. I considered not blocking it because it was already quite a reasonable size. But blocking it just, as always, it just gave it that wonderful drapey quality.
You know, you have another acquisition. The sweater I gave you.
That's true.
Next time.
Next time.
Because
Anyway.
she's already wearing it at the office.
Yeah.
So, cool.
So that's it. Yeah, Sue gave me a sweater that she knit years ago and hasn't been wearing. So I keep it at the office, and I've actually been wearing it whenever I've been chilly, which
Well, and
happens
not
a
that
lot
it
to
doesn't.
me.
And not only that it doesn't fit anymore. I don't like the fabric. Like, I don't like tencel. Like, you can't block that stuff.
No.
So I thought, not knowing way back then that you couldn't block it, it fit for a year. And then I was just like, I'm not wearing this. This needs to go to somebody who'll wear it. And it fits her perfectly.
And the other day, I was wearing that red knitted skirt.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
brown top.
And a brown t-shirt, and so I actually put on the cardigan because it's brown. And I was like, oh, look at this. Looks so fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so those are the FOs for this week. Pretty cool.
Yep.
3 things.
Hey, I have an FO.
You do too.
So
4 FOs.
that's all that counts.
5. We can't see Lynn's, but
Yes,
hers is down
exactly.
too.
She said she would send a picture, or post a picture in the episode thread.
Well, and on Instagram,
Yes,
I would
so
imagine.
that people can see it.
So, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
The window is open. You are hearing a helicopter.
Sounds like a helicopter. Today's actually a fairly crappy day, weather-wise, but we've had such incredible weather. It's just been
It was like,
ridiculous.
what, 27 yesterday?
I don't know if it got that hot.
Well, I
Did
don't
it
know.
Really?
We had to have the air conditioning. When we left the house, it was like, do we put the air conditioning on and close the windows? And Sean was like, yeah. Because one other day that it was that hot when we came home, it was just awful.
It was like 12 degrees in the morning and then 25 or 26 in
Mhm.
the afternoon. Sunny, beautiful. The leaves are turning. It was just like, wow, spectacular. This weekend, though, it's totally changing and we're entering more into 13 degrees.
Well, and I'm surprised that the air's not coming through. I think it's because the door's closed. Like, it can't flow anywhere because it's quite cool out right now.
It is.
So, what you working on?
What are you working on? I did some talking. Your
No.
turn.
Okay, let me just get these 4 stitches done so I can show you the socks properly. I am making my Pirates Love Rainbow socks, so my pirate socks. And this is yarn from
Pirate yarn.
Pirate Yarn. Look what it does sometimes when you cut and paste.
Oh, weird.
Weird. Which is from Pirate Yarns, and it is the Pirates Love Rainbows colorway, which we said, on 2.25 millimeters, which is a US 1. And this was bus knitting this week, which is not a lot because I can basically get one full round of both socks. That's all I can get done on the bus, which is fine. So, where the cupcake is where I got to. So I mean,
Last week, from where you were last week?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I've got about 6 rows done. I'm about 1.5 inches away from doing the heel. And I haven't decided on a heel. I think I might do the fish lips for myself because I haven't made one for myself, but I did try on Ashley's and it fits quite nice.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I have to finish Sean's socks, which I messed up the fish lips heel 4 times because one should not stop in the middle of that heel. Because even if you think you know where you are when you pick it back up, it doesn't work. So
I have to say, I've already worn those socks when we did have a cool day somewhere in September.
and they look so,
Really cozy yarn.
but they look so like they're not going to fit, but they'll stretch.
Oh yeah, no, those will fit.
So.
Very cozy.
Well, I've
soft
gone down a needle size because I've noticed all the socks I've made are just a bit loose. For the house, it's fine, but if you're wearing it in a boot or a shoe, they don't stay up. So I've gone down a size, and I've actually gone down a size. Like I used to do 2.5, I do 2.25, and for Ashley it used to be 2.75, but she was having the same problem, so now she's at 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes that much of a difference.
Yeah.
And here is the skein in its glory.
Hey, look, that looks plaid-like.
And it's being stored in this really, really gorgeous bag from, you know, someone who might be to my left. That's one of her one skeiners. Every time I say that, I want to say nanner, nanner. Every single time. Oh. And the other thing I picked back up, which I did last week, and I had to rip the color work back once again, is the Homme Shawl. And it is by Drea Renee Knits.
Andrea Mowry is her name, and she's Dreary Knits on Instagram.
It's called Dreary? Huh.
Oh, I don't know.
So that's the Homme Shawl. Oh, get it. Focus. And I'm knitting this out of 4 colors of Patton's Classic, black, dark gray mix, Aran, and a light gray. And Selma got me started on the color work yesterday because every time I do it, the count is off. And then I was able to do 1 or 2 rows, and now it's off again.
Mm-hmm. But the pattern looks normal.
It looks normal until I want to start again, and it's when I get somewhere to the end, because they're offset, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're offset to make the diagonal,
Yeah.
and it wasn't right.
Okay, well, we'll look at it after.
Exactly. Yes, and this is knit on size 6mm, which is a US 10, and it's being housed in the bag that I absolutely had to have from Addicted to Sock Knitting, because I'm a Marilyn fan. So it's gorgeous. And that's all that I've worked on this week, because I finished the sweater.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got this Bergère de France Gumi 50 yarn in the spring when we ordered from Love Knitting. Oh,
Why are you not? Okay, this is weird. The show notes did not come out
that's okay. I don't
as
need the
they
show
were
notes, but
supposed
you'll
to.
need them for the...
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Oops.
I had problems with show notes yesterday.
Anyway, I am knitting these socks, which is the Gumi 50 by Bergère de France in the Imprime Beige colorway. And I got a pink Bergère de France Gumi as well, just a solid color.
So well with it.
And
it goes so well.
I am so in love with this. I am so in love with this. In fact, I call these, I've got a song for these.
So this should be your new exploration station.
That's what I was thinking yesterday. I'm like, there's my exploration station right there. Oh.
You have a song for this, you said?
Yeah.
Which is?
Gumi, Gumi, I love you.
That's why it's called that on your project page.
Gumi, Gumi. I'll stop now. But anyway, I've got a whole song about
You did it.
I did it, and I'm like, I don't know what shade of red you'd call that, but anyway, that's embarrassing. But I do have a song for these socks. Anyway, here I am. That's all I've done so far. I haven't decided yet what kind of heel I'm going to do, because I don't want to destroy the striping. At the same time, they're very long color repeats, and sometimes, apparently, according to other people, not always predictable. So,
I think the pink will look nice, because you've already got the toe.
Yeah, but in terms of whether I
The
do
heel,
a heel flap, if I do a gusset with a heel flap, or whether I do an afterthought heel, or try the fish lips kiss heel, which I have not tried yet. So I haven't decided, and I probably should decide soon, because if I want to
They're getting there.
if I want to do a gusset, I'm going to have to start soon. So anyway, look at that. I just love that.
That's you in a sock.
So peaceful. And that is being housed. Here's the pink, by the way. I'll tell you what it's called. It's called chair, which means flesh in French, or chair in English. It would be, and it's number 29558. So it's just a lovely sort of salmon pink.
And you bought that for that reason, right?
Yeah, I did. Although I was like, whoa, this is such a lovely color. Like, I would almost make a sweater out of this. But I'm trying not to do that. Trying not to buy sweater quantities and thinking sweater all the time. And it is in my lovely Anne of Green Gables bag that Moira of Knitting and Stitches made for me. She made us all one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's got an S on it.
That was housed. That's what my baby sweater was housed in.
Yeah, so I was glad to finally use this. And the other thing that I started is in this bag that I made myself a while ago.
I love that.
I love this bag too. I am going to be making a sweater by Joji Locatelli.
I love how she says that. She has the accent.
It's called Window to My Soul. What a deep name for a sweater, eh? So it's this sweater here. It has, as you can see, it's kind of got a, what do you call that? Kind of an empire waist. So it's got lace and then it goes down to stockinette. I'm going to probably do a slightly different version. This is knit from the top down, so we can make these decisions as we go. But I have seen other people whose version is lace all the way down and kind of more of a traditional, whereas this has got an empire waist to it, and I'm just not really feeling like that is what I want right now. So anyway, that's a decision I'll make when I get to that point. And I am going to be making this in Malabrigo sock, also yarn that I got from the Malabrigo factory in Uruguay. And yesterday I was saying that can I wind this at Sue's house, but when I got home yesterday I was like, I really want to swatch this thing. So I took out my Swift and my ball winder, which I've been having a lot of difficulty with. I usually wind in my daughter's bedroom because the clamp from the Swift will fit on her dresser, whereas my dining room table is just too thick and it won't go on there. But I just end up swearing like quite viciously because it just doesn't work very well.
Selma the sailor when that happens.
Oh my gosh. And so I thought yesterday, I didn't want to wait till today, and I thought I'll take it to the our outside table. It was a nice evening. It was our beautiful 26 degrees and sunny.
And it worked?
And it worked way better. So
is it because you had them further apart?
I don't know if that's
because I know you need a good couple feet in between
there
to
might
get
be
it
a
to wind
distance
properly.
thing. So anyway, I have 3 skeins, and 2 skeins are very similar, and one of the skeins is quite different. So I'm going to be striping this. This is in the Malabrigo sock, as I said, in the eggplant colorway. And let's see if we can see that. You can see this one here has got purple and brown, and there's a little bit of light blue here and there, whereas this one's got a lot more of the blue going through it.
So you're going to use the oddball to go.
So I'm going to stripe it every third pair of rows. It'll be this one, and then it'll be homogeneous. And so I sort of swatched to see what it would look like, and it's going to be great. So that is what it's going to look like.
That's gorgeous.
It's quite beautiful. I wasn't 100% sure if this was going to be for me, but I think it is. And I'm glad I'm doing something lacy. Whoops, I'm having a hard time. Okay, over here. I'm glad I'm doing something lacy because I find it quite manly. So I think the laciness will...
Yeah, but the more you do, you're going to see more of those pops of light color.
Yeah.
Right? So it'll, in a bigger piece, it will lighten it up.
Yeah. So I've swatched doing stockinette. I'm going to swatch a little bit with the lace to see how that is. But I think I'm getting gauge. And so then I'm just going to decide what size I'm going to make and start it.
You'll have a 6-hour ride, 7-hour ride to Rhinebeck.
It's going to be, that's right. I actually also... I remember showing you guys last year, I think my husband started knitting, and he first made a scarf for my son, and then he made a cowl for his nephew, and then he started a pair of socks for himself, and I was helping him with the complicated parts, like I did the heel for him, and I did the toe, and so he was just getting used to knitting in the round. But second sock syndrome, basically, he got part way up the second sock, and it just seems to be sitting there, so I'm hoping to finish those for him on the trip to Rhinebeck.
That'll be good.
Yeah, because he wears his socks.
Because basically you can have that as your knitting project for Rhinebeck.
I'm going to try and do the heel before I leave, and then it's really just a question of finishing up the leg and
decreasing and done.
And that's it. Done. So
that's what I want to do for Sean's Boba Fett socks. I want to get the heel done, and then when I get on the plane, it's a leg.
Yeah, especially because it's a heel flap, and there's something about heel flaps. I don't enjoy doing them, but they're the best heel for him.
You need to do it in one sitting as well.
And yeah, it's the kind of thing you need to do it and just sit there and do it.
Yeah. I have a problem though.
Oh.
I have to bring plastic needles on the plane.
That's what the airline said.
That's what the airline says on the website. In TSA for the US says needles shorter than 4 inches. But circulars...
Well, the needle portion.
Yeah, and that do you think that's more than 4 inches? So anyway, I have to find plastic sock needles in 2 sizes. Because I want to bring my sock and I want to bring his sock.
That just sounds unpleasant.
So I'm just wondering, because I have something else here I want to show after, if I should just bring the other I have a shawl project that I picked back up because I need to knit something enjoyable at the moment, and this is not enjoyable for me because my hands are in a lot of pain. But I picked up a shawl that I had cast on a while back by Lisa Much, and I'm thinking it might be easier to put a 4mm plastic needle and knit with that as opposed to a 2.5.
Yeah, and also, there's a certain tightness to sock knitting, whereas with shawl knitting, there's a looseness to it.
Well, that's it. I just knit like 2 rows this morning. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Because even the baby sweater, even though it was on 3.75, it was still not as enjoyable as a larger needle. Anyways, first world problems. Is that it for you? You have
That's
other
it.
things? That's all you're knitting on at the moment?
That's all I'm knitting on at the moment.
So I guess we can get to the really fun part, or do you want to do our stash first and then get to the really fun part?
Let's do our stash, because after that it's all about prizes, people.
Mm-hmm.
There are prizes galore. We've got prizes for the Canada Cal and the prize for the
and by prizes we mean
third quarter
prizes.
Yeah,
I posted them all in the Canada Cal prize thread so you guys could see what is there. There's a lot
of prizes. The generosity from all these people who donated
and the thing
prizes,
was, it just kept coming in over the
coming in, man. So we've got that, which we're going to be taking, which is going to take up the last part of the podcast today,
because we did all the drawing.
Thursday. We're going to draw because there are 10 prizes, something like that.
Oh God, there's more than that.
Anyway, there's just a crazy amount of
way
prizes.
More than that.
And then we've also got the sock,
which
for the brown bag sock
for the third quarter. Yeah, and we're gonna draw it live because it's her baby.
Yeah, so we'll do that after acquisitions, and then we can do the Canada Cal prizes. Mm-hmm. And
those of you that follow me on Instagram know that Lynn bought me this at David's Tea the other day.
So pretty.
It's got 3 different cats on it and a yarn ball. So we were in David's Tea because Lynn kind of went, I think we're going to go to David's Tea because she's addicted to tea.
Yarn tea, which one is a greater addiction?
Yeah. And so I was looking at it, but because of Texas, there is no spending money in my budget whatsoever. I didn't even buy coffee this week.
Way to go.
Yep, no coffee. I did not buy anything this week because we're on a tight budget. And so I was looking at it, and then she was talking to the guy, and this was the last one, and they're not getting any more in, so I thought she bought it for herself. We get in the car, and she's fondling through her bag in the back seat, and I'm just like, whatever. And she gets in, and she hands me the box. Merry Christmas. Because that's how she is. She does this to me all the time. I have to stop saying I like things.
Yeah, I need to stop saying I like things, too, because that happens to me as well a little bit here and there.
Sorry, what?
These people. They're cut from the same cloth. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The sock pattern.
She can't tell me she likes a pattern because
she can't tell me if she
I
likes
will
a
gift
pattern,
it to her before she buys it.
Yeah. I mentioned a pattern and so I think I'm going to get this pattern. I get back to my desk and, oh, look at that. Somebody just bought it for me. Crazy people.
Mm-hmm. So I got that, and then last week I mentioned the pumpkin spice latte mug that I bought from Starbucks that I searched all through Gatineau and could not find.
Oh, yeah.
I found one in Ottawa. So this is the PSL pumpkin spice latte with a pumpkin and team.
So I was walking by one of those, you know, those Ontario liquor store little shops they have in malls or whatever, and there was a pumpkin spice cider.
That would be good.
They were giving tasters, and I was like, "Can I taste this?" It was okay, honestly. An apple cider, I wanted to taste like apple.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah,
we bought it because he didn't
Yeah.
make any. But I wanted this, and then when I was on training last week, I went to one of the Starbucks that was close, and they actually had two, and I kind of squeezed, and when I was talking to the barista, I was saying, you know, I'm a knitter, and it's all...
So who do you think makes the best pumpkin spice latte? Because I haven't had one. Really?
Yeah. Okay. Starbucks, by far, to me, is the best.
I haven't gotten into this pumpkin spice
Second
craze.
Cup is okay, Bridgehead is okay, but Starbucks rules for me when it comes to that. But I've also been looking at recipes because I want to make my own.
Absolutely.
And so my wish list for Christmas has a frother steamer.
I got one.
Well,
like the little...
It's just a tiny thing like this big, and it does both, and that's all I could find online.
Yeah, it's about $100.
No, this one's like $20.
Oh.
But so I'm wondering how. I haven't looked at the comments to see how it works, but...
So if you want to make a homemade pumpkin spice latte, what goes into it? Sorry, we're completely digressing here.
Well, you've got the milk and you've got the pumpkin spice, and there's a couple other things, but a couple of the recipes that I found, it's like weird and like really weird ingredients. It's not like your basic.
So it's really just the fact that you're adding pumpkin spice.
Yes.
You're not actually adding pumpkin puree.
Some of them do.
Okay.
I think I would like something with more of a pumpkin puree taste to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, this was, you know, a gift to me, and it's got one of these kind of suction cups that go in.
Well, here I say I haven't gotten into the pumpkin spice craze, but my smoothies, I got a can of pumpkin puree, and I've actually been making a pumpkin smoothie with pumpkin spice in it. Well, not so much, but cinnamon and nutmeg and yeah.
So today, or yesterday in the mail, I resubscribed to Knit Scene because I'm going to let my interweave knits expire. Because I tend to like the knit scene, and I just haven't been happy with the interweave knits that much.
Interweave, I find, can be a little spotty in terms of the...
There's usually at least 2 or 3 things that I like in every one.
And this has got some really lovely sweaters in it.
That's a nice one on the front there.
Lovely, lovely sweaters.
Yeah, so 20 wintry knits, and there's one I want to show specifically that I really need to knit. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so I want to knit this one.
Which one? Yes, I think I want to knit that one too.
You know?
It's just a lovely cardigan.
And I believe I have some sports weight. So this is called the Fate Cardigan by Cheryl Chow.
Huh. Is Knit Scene American?
Yeah. Knit Scene is interweave.
Yeah. There are just a lot of really nice sweaters in that one, I have to say.
I find these like really cool. It's showing it. Yeah, so you've got all these, the red, white, and blue, which I think are really cute. Like that cowl right there, I think is really cute. And then go to the other one more page. There, this. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, those aren't my colors, so I probably wouldn't knit it.
But yeah, no, there are lots of lovely, lovely things in that one.
Where's that cowl?
I might end up having to partake when I see it.
Oh, this is lovely, which I would probably try and fix the neckline because it's a little too... It would be too wide if you put it up on both shoulders. And then there is...
I'm going to start grabbing mine.
Oh, there's this hat that I think is just gorgeous. That hat, and then there was...
Yeah. Yeah, no, there are a lot of really nice and...
Oh, and this.
Yeah, that sweater is beautiful.
Love this.
So now the weather just has to get cool.
Mm-hmm.
It will. So for me, I have to say acquisitions. Was that it for acquisitions?
Yeah, except for those, but we can show them after.
Acquisitions for me in the last couple of weeks has really been about patterns. No yarn. You neither, eh? Hey. So, speaking of interweave, I did get the fall one for 2016 because there were quite a few lovely things in here. I really
Why do I not remember receiving it?
I really like this colorwork sweater for men.
Oh, now I remember it because it has steeking in it.
And there were, oops, sorry.
You get to the pattern part. You
Yeah.
get the front.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
There are so many sweaters, but the main one that I got it for is this one. I love that sweater, although I would not make it quite as long. But I really like this. It's knit out of Baramu Doverstone DK, which is, this would make it like a ridiculously expensive sweater.
But it looks like a finicky.
This one too, I really like. Anyway, there are quite a few lovely sweaters in here. Yeah, the one that's on the cover. Then there's this cardigan.
I like that too.
I really like that. It's got a little bit of cabling on it, and then a long rib section.
But the one on the front is seed stitch,
and
right?
And the one on the front as well, which is lovely. And it's got a seed stitch.
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle that.
And then I got it at a wool shop where they have previous editions as well, and I actually ended up getting this spring interweave knits specifically for one item.
Is that this year's?
Yeah, okay. From 2016. Because I'm going to make.
Remember
the last time I was here and I showed the cream with the beige, and I said I wanted to make something with a chevron.
You found it?
And I saw this, I was like, this is the shawl that I'm going to make. I had got some Gotland sheep yarn in a natural white and some Ashford 4-ply in a sort of an oatmeal color. And
I'm thinking Ashford. Yes, they do make yarn.
I wanted to make something with a chevron on it, and so that is it. And it comes very much almost like a capulette in the front. So that's what I bought this for. Let me just, you can see it here that it goes into kind of a capulette there in the front. So those are two things. And then patterns. As I mentioned, I had said to Sue that I was thinking about getting the Susan B. Anderson, her new pattern called Smooth Operator. And then I got to my desk and she'd gotten it for me. Because she, apparently, the heel on hers is an afterthought heel. But I'm very curious to see how she does it, because I find it a challenge not to have a little gaping hole in the corners. Sometimes I can make it work and sometimes I can't. So I'm curious to read about that. So I got that. The other pattern that I got is this one by Hochi as well, called Imagine When. It's like that. It's kind of a short row lace type thing. That I think I'm going to use my fondant fiber lace that I bought a little this summer to make that with. And can you see that? The Void Shawl.
Wow, it's super long.
The Void Shawl by Melanie Berg.
Oh, because you're doing the Bergalong.
No, who's having a Bergalong?
There's a Bergalong.
Oh dear, I better join the Bergalong.
Check the grocery girls or ask Jessica.
Oh.
Jessica's doing the Bergalong.
I didn't do that. Because I like the fact that it's a worsted weight shawl. And I have some Galway Heather yarn that's been in my stash for a long time, in sort of a heathered light blue. And I thought that would
I thought you were doing it for the Bergalong. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I think it's in the grocery girls, or if you go into Jessica... Sarah Nova. I think she's doing the Bergalong. And
this one, for some reason, we weren't able to print it properly. But Isabel Kramer, who has designed lots of sweaters, she just came out with a men's sweater. And she posted it when she first knit it. And I was like, oh, when she puts that out, I'm getting it for Alejandro.
If you show the back, it'll show.
I think the other picture will show it far better.
Yeah, I think so.
You can see a little bit there. It's a top-down construction with kind of a seed stitch yoke, and then garter ridges, and then into stockinette. Very simple sweater, and I just think that is going to be a very nice sweater for Alejandro.
Yeah, because the last one was not so
Because
successful.
The last one was just not successful. It was the Ranger by Jared Flood, and I just couldn't get the fit right, and it's in the naughty corner, and I don't know if it's ever going to come out.
I'm like, frog it, soak it, and use it for something else.
We'll see. So that's it. And then we just got gifted lovely, lovely, lovely stitch markers from a woman who watches the podcast whose name is Cheryl, who's out in PEI, and I'm sorry to get to see you too, Cheryl. And she's got an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
But Cheryl, you said that you're going to be at Rhinebeck, so make sure you come and say hello, because I have no idea what you look like. Okay?
Podcaster meetup.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be there for the Ravelry meetup, but I'll be there for the podcaster meetup. So I think the Ravelry meetup's at noon.
Yep.
And then the podcaster meetup's at 1. So she has a shop on Etsy called Caw, C-A-W, which is probably for Cheryl Ann Wortman, because that's her name, Caw Creations. And she has made these very lovely stitch markers.
And of course, you know, green.
Yeah, green.
I chose the green ones.
I chose the red ones.
And so the other ones will go to
I'm very
Lynne.
intrigued by the construction of these, because you can see that they've got a rather thick ring at the top. So I'm very much looking forward to using these. And then these have beautiful, there's a bird dangling and a rhinestone.
It's almost like she knew us.
It's almost like she knew
Because
us.
Lynne would love that. Like that's...
Yeah, and these are beautiful as well. Just almost tiger eye-like. Shimmer, shimmer. There we go. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, she had contacted me and asked if she could send something. And I'm like, stitch markers? Sure.
I love her card, which is on the back, which is a picture of probably her knitting. But it looks like she's taken pictures of projects and then turned them into cards, which is a great idea.
It is.
Yeah.
So
thank you
very
so much. Can't wait to start using those. See you at Rhinebeck. Don't forget to say hello.
I love the card.
And everybody else, if you're going to Rhinebeck, please come and say hi.
Because, you know, she won't be overwhelmed this year because she's done it before.
I'll be less overwhelmed this year. Last year was just a blur.
It was the best because we go to the buildings A, B, and C, which have all the most popular booths. So I was away doing something. I think I was trying to look for my merchandise, and all of a sudden this woman comes running up to Selma and Lynne and hugs Lynne, and it's just like fangirling, and Selma was just like, But then at the podcaster meeting, you got people were like, Selma!
Yeah. I think it'll be less overwhelming this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all the podcasters so much.
I has a sad, but I'll be in Texas, so, you know.
It's really, honestly, the main reason I'm going. Because...
To see everybody.
Because
you interact online all year long.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you know, I mean, do I need yarn? No, I don't.
But you're going to, well, I mean, I'd go just for Joshua's and the diner.
Yes.
Those are, Joshua's is where we eat dinner usually on the Friday night, and it is absolutely amazing.
Really good. It's in Woodstock. And when we got there, I'm like, are we in like the Woodstock? This is Woodstock?
You could probably find the field too.
So this year I asked Lynn and Crystal, who's going with us, I was like, do you mind if we go like a day early and actually explore a bit? Because if we get there late Friday night, our time is really about Rhinebeck. And there is a trunk show Friday nights, but I don't know if we're going to get to it. There's a...
We've gone in the past, and Kristen is selling this year.
I know.
Kind of awesome.
I'd like to go,
but
see,
it was very small in a very small room, and I have a feeling that they've got a bigger room this year because it was like, it was very, what do you call it? Small, close quarters? Like it was really, really like jammed in there. And I'm hoping that they have a bigger room because it was hard to get in and out. There was some nice stuff. Yeah. But, yeah.
So we'll be leaving Thursday at noon.
Which I'm going to miss because
evening.
I would like to see Woodstock, but I guess we'll have to do the same thing next year.
Perhaps.
For me.
So, anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
So your main festival of the year is the biggest.
Yeah.
You haven't gone to Maryland?
No. And although I would hate to miss Rhinebeck, I kind of wonder if next year it would be neat. Like this Knit City thing that happened in Vancouver.
I wouldn't fly. It would be too expensive.
I'm just like... I know, it would be crazy.
I know other people who have. Like, I would have accommodations because my father-in-law and my sister-in-law lives there. But it's too close to Rhinebeck. And I would choose Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to go.
I mean, there are some, like, Susan B. Anderson was, like, there was a lot of people there. Like, big names.
Well, and all our West Coast woolly people. Like, you know, like Elise
Sucksetcher was there.
Exactly. Shannon and Marsha.
Lone Larch was there.
I think the grocery girls were there.
Yes,
like
the grocery girls. Yeah.
All our West Coast people
yeah.
were there. So it'd be kind of fun
and there
to
was
see
people
them.
from abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But we lived vicariously through them on Instagram.
Okay, all right. So are we done with acquisitions?
Yeah, we're gonna do your draw.
All right.
Just get the random number thing.
So for those of you who were in our Brown Bag Sock Club third quarter, thank you for participating. And we showed you last time the prize for this time, which was this skein of, it's getting a little bit blown out. This skein of Wool Barn in her smooth sock in one of a kind strawberries and cream, which has got all these fantastic red and sometimes purpley blue speckles, which we have paired with this Gale's Art. I cannot remember the name of this colorway, but you can choose to make the heels and the toes with this or not. It's totally up to you. You can use it for a blanket if you like, but that is the prize for the third quarter.
117 submissions.
117 submissions.
Yeah.
I think people are knitting less socks in the summer.
Well, maybe.
So we are going to draw
2 to 117.
Random generator. Here we go. Generate. Oh, still putting in the numbers?
Yeah, you can hit generate. Since it is your baby this year. Sorry.
Baby. 92. Number 92.
Let's go see who 92 is. Sorry, everything's really small right now.
And that would be... Somebody made orange, pink, and purple and green socks.
Rislin Crafts.
Rislin Crafts.
Who is Robin from Cape Coral, Florida.
Hey, Robin. So get in touch with us. Get in touch with me.
Yeah.
And send me your information, and I will send this off to you. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's beautiful yarn.
I'm not into pinks, but I want the yarn anyway.
It's not pink.
Well, it's more of a burgundy-ish. That's why we chose this rather than the red.
And it would be a beautiful
And
shawl
this was, she had
well.
given me this for my barn raising square, and I'm like, oh, this would go really, really well.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your gift for the third quarter.
Okay. I want to mention one more thing before we get into this. Diane Lancier, who is local here, she's Freedom for You on Ravelry, and she used to be the owner of the Knotted Bag, which is what I took over. And she has a new pattern that came out. It's called Be Still Shawl. And she has a short version and a long version. And the back is kind of, is that chevron?
Yeah.
Okay, so the back is kind of like a
large chevron.
A large chevron. And then the front goes short or really long. And the really long one is basically so you could do that wrapping, and you know that spot in your coat that's always open?
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to kind of there. So I'll post pictures in a giveaway thread, but I had talked to her and she agreed to give one away.
We've got 2 giveaways.
Yeah.
We've got hers, Be Still. So we'll open a thread for that and come in. Did you want to have a prompt, or just people can just...
I think show us what yarn you would use.
All right.
Because she's got it in stripey, but people might think of something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to have 2 giveaways. The second giveaway is for this pattern as well, for the Lightning Strike pattern by Mina. So we'll have a thread for that as well. And I don't know, what would the prompt be? Do we need to have a prompt?
Not necessarily. They can just post. I want to win.
Just post.
Yeah, just post. If you want to post yarn, post yarn. If you don't,
so this will draw next time, or the
not next weekend, but the one after.
The one after. So both of them will be open for 2 weeks. Sound good?
Yeah. Okay. It'll be on October 22nd.
There you go. Thank you, Mina.
Squishy.
It's super squishy. I just want to like squish it all the time. I haven't sewn in the ends for that one too.
I've got a ponytail, but
it's not your color either.
Nope. I'm more of a different colored orange, and now my hair's messed. All right.
Okay.
Let's get
so
into the
we're
good
now
stuff.
okay. We're just clearing the way here because we've got prizes. for the Canada Cal. And before we even go into the prizes, just want to say thank you, first of all, to all those people who just spontaneously offered coupon codes. That was really, really generous.
Yeah. And there were a lot of them.
A lot of them. So thank you so much. And this Cal really was about promoting Canadian dyers and Canadian designers. So that was really great because they joined in and helped out.
And this was just like a thought you had, like, I wonder if this would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ran with it.
and yeah, I mean, then all these people just started offering prizes and stuff, which was really lovely. And all the generous prizes that were sent in. Thank you so much.
There are so many that you will see when we do the announcements.
There were 10 podcasts involved in this Cal. We had the 2 Tangled Skeins. We were in it. The Grocery Girls joined in as well. Fairy Little with Marsha. Knitting and Stitches with Moira. Victorian Studio with Maureen. Wool Gathering with Meredith. Nekazuki Knits with Katie. My 2 Tips with Elise. Etc. with Shannon. And West Coast Woolies with Bernadette and Glenda. Like awesome.
And I had totally forgotten about a couple because I didn't realize that they had actually joined. Like my 2 Tips, I didn't know because she was undecided, but then she decided. But yeah, this.
And with all the posts in all the different podcasts, there were 3,433 entries. That's pretty awesome. The prizes that we've drawn are just for our group. In our group, we had 731 posts.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
So the amount of prizes that we have for 731 posts is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you've entered into all of them, well, your chances are pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I'm curious to know where you people are all over the world. All over the world. Great.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks. It was really fun. It was so much fun to see. Actually, I started losing track. I could not keep up with the FOs that were coming in.
Well, no, Lynn basically took over the FO thread and went through every single one to make sure they were valid.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So, do you want to start with the smaller prizes and do the grand prizes later? Or start
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. So, turn to page, I think, 3.
Oh, gosh,
there's so many. Yeah, it's a Word document. Oh, so okay, let's just use mine. Okay, so we don't want to do the grand prizes yet. All right, so yarn prizes.
Oh, do we want to do the Yucalan?
Yeah, we can.
So Yucalan donated 5 prizes, and basically each winner will get a full-size bottle of Yucalan,
scent of their choice,
and a getaway gang, which is like a whole bunch of little mini packages.
If you go into the Canada Cal prizes, they're all there.
Yeah. So we're not going to show all this stuff because it would just be like throwing things all over the place.
No, what we'll do is we'll announce, and then in the actual Canada Cal prize thread, I will go and link you all to what you've won.
Yeah. And then please get in touch. We're going to give you until the end of October.
Do you want everybody to get in touch with me? Like one person?
Sure.
And that, because we've split it up how we're going to send it, but everybody contact Crafty Knitter 7, and then I will disseminate the addresses and whatnot to whoever's going to send it.
Yeah, we're going to be keeping Canada Post alive.
Yeah, pretty much. So the first winner, we have 5, is
5 for the Yucalan prize.
Yes, was post number 251, who is Donna 55, and she knit a baby blanket.
Cool. Next one is 722. That was the post. Sharby.
I know Sharby.
Who is Sharon Ann, and she knit a hat.
Post number 276 was Blue Nines 1, Nina, and she knit the Bay of Quinte socks.
So that's a theme, Canadian theme, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there is post 656, which was Knit Pip and Pin, who is Megan, but I can't see. What did she knit? The Hitchcock?
The Hitchcock.
Which is...
Was it a sweater?
Was she the one that made that fantastic men's sweater?
I think maybe.
That fantastic men's sweater?
Yeah, we were...
Go check it out. I was just like...
We were in Selma's office, and she was finding the post. Lynn was generating the numbers, and I was writing down, and she kept going, turning her screen. turning her
Look at
screen. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And the last one is post number 142, which is Family Diva. Her name is Sue, and she knit a hat.
Yeah, a yellow hat, I remember.
Do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So those are all the Ukulele prizes.
Yeah.
So write to Sue, give her your address, and then you'll get a package which will be sent to you directly from the Ukulele people.
Yeah. So now we have yarn prizes. You want to do number 1?
Yarn prizes. So the first one is post number 500, which was, I think it's pronounced Anya Julia.
It is.
And her name is Anya, and she made the antler hat. And Anya, you are getting a skein of Julie Asselin.
Yeah,
Really
with a
lovely.
measuring tape, some tea, and one of her brownie recipes.
Yeah.
The second prize is post 608, Miss Sarah. She knit the maple leaf shawl.
Yeah, go see.
Gorgeous. And you are winning Cottage Craft Yarns, the light blue skein that was donated by the Relentless Knitting Podcast.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Prize number 3 goes to number 62, which is Natalou Kathleen, and she made the knit cowl. And she is getting a Cottage Craft Yarns in the dark blue, also donated by the Relentless Knitting Podcast. Thank you, Relentless Knitters.
And prize number 4 is donated by Art by Anna, and it was post number 145, who is Shani Arnie, and she knit a brioche cowl. And you will be winning Sock Garden stripes in the umbrella weather colorway from Art by Anna.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then
Bag prizes.
bag prizes. There are 3 bag prizes.
Mm-hmm.
The first one goes to number 216, which was Charlie 17. And oh, we didn't write your name, Charlie, but I think it's Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't Charlie. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay. You won.
You won. You made sockettes, and you get a bag by Sockcetra.
Number 2 is post number 525, and we were really excited about this one. It was Eco Geek 30? No, Eco Geek 3.
No, it's Eco Geek. The way she spells it
Oh, right.
is with numbers and
Okay,
letters.
and so that's Bernadette,
you know who you are.
who is from the West Coast Woolies podcast, and they run the yarn shop as well. And she made some mitts, and what you will win is My Needle Crafts. She sent a bag and some stitch markers.
Is it the West Coast Woolies?
Well,
or Wet Coast Woolies? Anyway, sorry.
it's Wet Coast Wools,
Is the shop.
but I think they call their podcast West Coast Woolies or
Okay.
Wet Coast Woolies. Sorry, I think people know who they are.
Prize number 3. 464 was the post, which is Ange in the East, Angela, and you made the barley hat, and you get a bag by Sue with flip-flops on.
Yeah, one of my wee knotted bags with
Mhm.
flip-flops. And these are patterns, and one of them has actual yarn with it.
Yeah. So, prize number 1 is a Louette yarn it's a linen, actually. Beautiful.
And
I
the
covet.
Island Heights poncho pattern.
And that goes to post number 85.
185.
Sorry, 185, which is Quilter Liz. Her name's Liz. And you had made the candy stripe shawl.
Prize number 2 is the Mata shawl by Chrissy Graham, who is Chrissy the Great. And it's post number 513, who is Serafina, who is Erin. And now I can't think of what Erin makes. She makes bags. So she knit a shawl called Tremble. Yep. So you win the pattern.
Prize number 3, which is a pattern by Art by Anna, who also dyes yarn. And it's a pattern for bottle toppers. Totally hilarious and adorable.
And I've knit them. They're awesome. They're so quick.
And this goes to post number 710, which was Alchemy, also known as Diane.
Did you say what she knit?
She knit the Voyager hat.
I'm like waiting. The fourth one is post number 240, who is Dufferin24 Erin, and she knit the Fundy Fog cowl. That was the theme.
Yeah.
Right? And she wins the Blomidon hiking hat by art by Anna.
There are more. The next one is the pattern by A.E. Marks, also known as Ultramariner, and it's her Jex pattern, which is a beautiful cardigan pattern. And that goes to number 346. That was the post to Midnight Farm. And you, Anne, made the Sunnyside cardigan.
Prize number 6 is the Schmancy shawl by Marcia Ibuki, who is Fairy Little. And the person who won that is post 21, who is La Jolla Girl, Nancy, and she knit the Solarium.
Number 7
Last prize.
The last pattern prize goes to post number 85.
I love it that you're announcing this one.
I know, it goes to my friend Dana. Hello, Dana. Who is...
She squeed Dana.
Viber Ike on Ravelry. And you are getting also a pattern by Marcia Ibuki, which is the Okanagan Orchard.
And she knit.
Lovely. And you made mittens. That was the ones you made with the yarn that I sent you.
Which is kind of
Isn't
awesome.
that cool?
So now,
I'm glad you got to win
we're going to
something.
do grand prize 3, 2, and then 1. So we packaged a few things together because we thought, you know, we need some grand prizes. So the first one is most chatter in the chatter thread.
Right. So the person who chatted the most beyond us, because of course we had tons of posts.
Well, you know, we'd like to keep some of the stuff, but we're not. is what you win.
What you win is a skein of Scrumptious Pearl in the colorway called Pretty Young Thing. It's a beautiful red,
striping.
gray, and beige striped yarn, as well as a set of stitch markers by Michelle from My Whimsy Creations, who's also on Etsy. And this goes to Jeanette, who is Mom McKellar on Ravelry. So you posted the most...
you chatted the most.
You chatted the most in the chatter group.
Yeah, so we thought that's worth something. And then, second prize is the most posts in the FO thread, and none of us were surprised. Well, I know Lynn and I were not surprised that this person won. You are going to win a bag from Twisted Daisy Fibers, which is Canada themed. Knitter's Nightmare yarn from Sadie Ruin, who is Blue Ruin. And My Whimsy Creations stitch markers with owls called Night Watch from Selma.
And this goes to Siberian Cat, who is also Penny.
She knits all the socks.
A lot of socks.
Yeah, and
a lot of socks. You're a crazy sock lady.
Yeah, so
which is awesome.
You've won that. And this is the
And I think, wait a second, how many entries did she have? I think it was 14.
There was a lot. It was more than 10.
Yeah.
She knit a lot of socks.
Yeah. So congratulations.
In a 3-month period. So the grand prize, which was randomly drawn from all the posts in the FO thread, you are going to win a needle holder and a bag from Yarn Friendly. The bag has mousse on it. Mousse. And the...
Not chocolate mousse.
No, and the DPN holder has maple leaves. And so the number is...
And...
Oh, right. Sorry. And then there is Canadian themed stitch markers from Owls on Dante's, who is Leanne, and Caterpillar Green Yarn, who is, well, Canadian, obviously. So I don't remember the colorway. So post number 64,
which is Romperlust,
who is
also
Sarah,
known as Sarah, and you had made the Authenticity shawl, which I really like. I want to make one too.
Yeah, so like I said, I will put all of the names and link the names in the actual prize thread so that you'll get a magic link. Please send all of your information to me, except for patterns. I will contact the designer and have your pattern sent to you.
There you go.
It'll make it easy.
Hope that's clear.
Yeah, I'll contact them all. If there's something that isn't clear, post it in the thread, PM one of us.
Yeah. And we'll get these out to you in the next couple of weeks or so. All right?
Yeah.
So thanks again, everybody.
Oh, and we did have a question. I've had a couple of people ask me by PM if we're doing it again. There's discussion, but we're not sure.
Well, we don't want to commit to anything,
No.
but it really was fun. If you have an opinion about whether we should do this or not.
Post it in the episode thread.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
I mean, 3,433 posts suggest that it was a success.
Yeah.
You know, for that little thought, she said, "Will it work?"
Yeah, I've got this idea.
I think it's kind
really
of
fun.
awesome, but like she said, we're not going to commit. I'd like to do it again, but like
it would be fun.
That's 9 months away.
Yeah. And what about the length? Did you think the length was okay? Was it too long?
I like that. Me personally, 3 months. I like 3 months because you can knit bigger projects, like sweaters and shawls.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
if you're a slow knitter, it gives you 3 months to do it. If you're a fast knitter, good for you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of options.
There you go. So thanks so much, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And jeepers, I think that concludes.
I thought this would be such a longer podcast. It's an hour and 15 minutes.
We're not so bad.
Not so bad.
Yeah, no. We're off to eat turkey now because it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm off to make a cake.
There are... Ooh, what you making?
A 4-layered pumpkin cake with cream cheese frosting and a mixture of brown sugar and walnuts crunchy in the middle of all 4 layers.
Wow.
I had to go dollar store thinking of it. I need 2 more cake pans.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm making it today because Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And, you know, the oven will be taken.
By the turkey.
This is my daughter.
No, is the turkey being done in the oven this time? Okay.
Yeah, and it was my daughter's because she's constantly linking recipes to me in Messenger and Facebook. So I'm constantly printing out recipes. Yeah. She also linked a pumpkin puree cinnamon roll recipe.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, you take the cinnamon roll, you roll it out, you put a little bit of pumpkin puree, some brown sugar and whatever, roll her up and bake.
That sounds really yumsies.
Yeah. Ooh. As you can tell, my daughter loves to bake.
Mm-hmm.
My boss is her guinea pig.
Lucky boss. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great.
So
enjoy.
Yeah. So, no edits. I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half and do edits. And lately we haven't been doing them and we're sorry, but life. Like, I think every weekend till Christmas for Lynn she's busy. I've got a couple weekends where I'm busy, so you'll be surprised when you get
one day when there happen to be edits.
Comical edits by the one and only Lynn. Yeah. So, have a great long weekend.
Yeah, if you have one, because you may not if you're not in Canada.
Yeah, eat lots of turkey.
If you're in Canada.
If you're in Canada.
If you're not in Canada, you could also eat turkey.
Yeah. Excuse, it's Canadian Thanksgiving. I need to eat turkey.
Yeah.
We do turkey for American Thanksgiving as
well. And, there'll be a podcast in 2 weeks, most likely. So take care, everybody.
Yeah, and look on Instagram, because I know I'll be posting from Texas. They'll be at Rhinebeck, and they better be posting for me.
I got to get some sort of package so that I can do stuff in the States. I got to figure that out. Sorry.
Well, you can get Roam Like Home at most sell places, like $5 a day or something.
Yeah.
Sean and I do it differently. We have a SIM card that we activate, and it's actually cheaper.
Yeah, it's only for a couple of days, so I'll probably just do that roaming thing.
Mm-hmm. Wi-Fi at the cabin.
There's Wi-Fi at the cabin.
But yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because there is no data at Rhinebeck.
No, you're in the country.
Well, not only you're in the country, there's like over 10,000 people there.
Yeah, that would be an awful lot of Wi-Fi.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I am so looking forward to it. We'll see y'all.
We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Are
you gonna come back talking like a Texan?
Maybe. I'll be eating lots of barbecue.
I bet you will. Mm-hmm.
So take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.